Or it gives me 3. Just puts me here.
You're back again? How is this possible? I will take care of you permanently. Wait a minute, I said that last time. I wouldn't want to sound like a video game cliche. Let me try that again. This time, I will take care of you once and for all.
Since the game is nice enough to give me 3 lives, I guess we'll, now that I know what to do, we just gotta get back there. No, beer. If you want to get mad at me for, you know, looking up, like, how to, that's fine. She's gotta understand I've been recording for about 5 hours and 40 minutes, and I have to work tonight. So
Hocus pocus.
I'm at a point where it's like, okay, listen, there's so little left, I don't want to leave it for another recording session, you know? I'd rather if I can get it done now, I'd rather that, right? So that's why I'm just gonna keep trucking along here for this. I'm just glad the frame rate here is a lot more stable because there's just not as much for the game to deal with. I do think his barriers take perhaps a little too much. There are points where you look at it like, okay, this has to be it. And it's like, nope. Why does that happen every time on the first round?
Hocus pocus.
Hocus. I can't skip this, so I'm sorry.
Hocus pocus.
Hocus. I'm really focused if you can't tell. Hokus pokus.
Pokus.
Feels like he got smaller there for a second. And look at him, he's reverted to his true self. That was unfortunate. We're gonna try and get this down a little bit, and then fuck. Try and get this down a little bit, and then like I'm trying not to use the crickets. Holy shit, game. From what I was reading too, apparently it's a bit random in terms of when he likes to use, like, or it can be a while before his opening happens. What I gotta wait for. Like, right there. There will be an audio cue so you know when he's open for attack. Like, at least they were like, hey, let's, you know, make use of all your different element breaths. I don't know if I got him. I didn't hear him, so go ow. I went ow though. Did I get a life? Basically, it's random when his like ground pound attack actually gets like stuck and open with the attack. Did we do it? That was kind of awkward.
No, not again. My plans were so perfect. Twice I put my faith in this staff, and twice it has failed me. Dragons, dragonflies, I can't win. I can't win.
Well, that's what you get for playing with your little sticks. Silly Ripto. Don't you know magic and dinosaurs don't mix?
You haven't heard the last of me, you little demon. I'll be back, and you'll be sorry. Every last one of you will be sorry.
Yeah, I bet. Well, as normal as fairy tales go anyway, pal. I'll tell you what though, guys. We weren't just gonna stand by and let Ripto ruin this day for the baby dragons. Right, Sparks. Or the dragonflies.
Well, everything is finally back to normal. Isn't it, Spyro?
Like, look at her model. She looks just pissed. Like, she just looks really upset. Like some... Oh, good. Look, there's the face again. I need to screenshot that. Full on screenshot that. There's Gaku. Texture specialist. Did they just realize what they made here and it's like, this has to be the end credits screen? It's too perfect. That's my what face. Like the... That's like, you're kind of like, what the fuck did you just say? Well, not exactly. I'm trying to think of the best way to explain this. It's like, I love how they even mentioned PlayStation 2. It's just straight up in here, like PS2. Tim Hoffman. Like, I don't even know how to explain that expression. It's just like, what? Like a very, very confused what? Like something unbelievable. Like you just don't believe them. So, I believe that's all. I don't think there's anything else to do. Game done. If you go back into your save game, play again so the Atlas to work the floor. So apparently if you just start the game up, it'll just put you in the boss layer. Yeah, like I I was starting to get a pattern down, or at least I was starting to see like, okay, these are the attacks he does when he's about to like go into his little cooldown phase, right? That's kind of what I had noticed from doing that. So, A Hero's Tale's next. I always forget if it's T-A-I-L or if it's T-A-L-E. That's the next game I'm gonna do. I'm pretty dead set on that because even though I got a little annoyed here, like I think part of that's more to do with just the frame rate issues this game has. So I think knowing that the second game is a bit more well crafted, I think I'll have a better time with that. This is almost a 6-hour recording session. I didn't really plan for this to happen, if I'm being honest. We're just gonna go ahead and go to oops. Apparently this is in the Dragon Realms, so apparently the game won't let me warp out. So let's go Dragonfly Dojo.
You did a great job saving the Dragon Master, Spyro.
Mm-hmm. Tell me all about it. Now, please don't tell me this is going to put me back in the boss. Okay, good. I kind of think they could have like opened this door up, even though that probably wouldn't have been much. Just something. Something in the hub world that could have changed, like fuck. Well, I've stated my thoughts. This is besides technical issues, this is a fine enough game. I feel like if this game just had a stable 30 FPS, or if it was just, you know, if it didn't drop as much and didn't drop as low, I think it would be better. A lot better. I think that's the main issue with this game. But when it's like running like it is right now, just at the frame rate it's supposed to be, it's very much playable, and I think it's enjoyable. Obviously I've played the remaster of the original trilogy, so take what you will from like my statements when I talk about those games. Those games to me are definitely more well crafted and seem to have more charm and general work into them. Like the story in this game is very light. Like you have 3-4 cutscenes throughout the whole game. You barely hear from Hunter at all. I don't think, I can't remember if the one girl talks at all. If that's even supposed to be her. Like, she looks so different than in previous games, so like, I don't know. The game itself, I would be putting it under like average, mainly due to the technical issues with the game, because a big part of it to me, if you play this game a lot, is are you stubborn enough to put up with them? Because if you're not, and I know for people who like are like 60 FPS or bust, this would drive them up a wall. I'm more, you know, it's an old game, what can you do? And I've been fine with 30 FPS for a long time. But even if you're like, okay, well, if I'm gonna play a game at 30 FPS, it at least has to be rock solid 30 FPS, like no drops. This will drive you crazy too. So if there wasn't the technical difficulties, I would put this at average, or maybe very slightly above average. You know, I think some of like the level designs you go through are fine. Like, to me, they understand the concept of Spyro, like the what his games are about, what you're supposed to be doing them. They understand that, to me. It's just a matter of the team not quite having the time is how I feel about it. I don't feel like the team quite had the time to craft like I said, Spyro's model here is fine enough. That looks fine. For an early 6th generation game, I think Spyro's model is passable. Maybe even on the good side, but like other character models are usually atrocious. And especially the animation on some of them are just awful. Like Ripto, especially, when you look at his, to me that straight up feels like something made like a late PS1 animation, like character model and animation, just put onto the GameCube or PS2. That's what it looks like. But Spyro's model itself looks proper early 6th generation to me. So it's obvious to me that they put the most time into his model, and that's fine. That's what you're going to be staring at the whole game, is controlling him. So that's fine with me. So yeah, slightly, you know, if you remove the technical issues, I would say average. Maybe if you're feeling generous, slightly above average. You know, it doesn't have that. It's not as well crafted. It doesn't have that fine touch that I believe it was Insomniac, right? Insomniac made the Spyro series. Because Naughty Dog was Crash, right? So I don't want to keep dragging on, but like, I think that's what I fully think. As I've had more time, as I've, you know, kind of continued to get that final ending and go through it a bit more, I had more time to think about it, and yeah, you know, we had some hilarious glitches, mainly falling through the wall when we're climbing up the one part, the level not loading in the barn mission, the barn level. So like, there are those issues too. I don't even know if I've been on the more lucky side of the scale, because it seemed like the further in, the further I get, like the longer I played the game, the more I started to get into some of those more groundbreaking bugs or technical issues, whatever, like falling through the stage, for example. I'm just glad that was like in a mini game where I'm not losing lives when that happens, you know, and so it wasn't as frustrating. I do wish that the team had more time. I do wish this was a game that was, you know, pushed back, because it felt like it needed those extra months of polish. And if they could have made a story, because like, it seemed like the previous games had more effort put into their story. Not that platformers are usually about having a heavy story, but like, the story in this game, like I said, is essentially non-existent. You have the opening cutscene. You have one cutscene when I assume you get 45, 50 dragonflies, like half the dragonflies. And then if you go for the good ending, if you go for the complete ending, you have the extra cutscene. So that's what you're getting. with the story, basically. And you don't even really have, like, they brought back old characters, but they're basically not, like, they're pretty non-existent, you know? Like, Ripto probably seems to play the biggest role because you are facing his goons in a number, if not all the stages. I think the biggest strength of this game is just the levels themselves. Mainly, not really the hub world, but the actual other levels you go through. They are, you know, some of the ideas are fine enough. I do like some of them myself. You know, now that I think about it, like, I think 2001, I probably would say, like, this is falling on that technical side, but the lighting could have been better. There's just really odd dark spots. I know it's, you know, I do feel like it could have been better. I'm not going to say a whole lot better, but I definitely feel like it could have been a bit better handled. I feel like they put the most effort into the levels and crafting the levels for the game, and the technical aspects of the game is where it took the hit in terms of its stability with the frame rate, bugs, not probably getting enough playtesting, and just like the overall look of the game with the other character models, the animation. That's where it took the biggest hit, you know? I think that's basically it. I think I've said what I've wanted to say about this game, and you know, like, part of me is happy to get on to another game, the next Spyro game, but part of me is kind of sad to be done with the game at the same time. I don't know, it's kind of like a kid thing. I see, like, if you haven't watched a movie or played a game, your mind will always be, like, curious about it, right? If it has an actor you like about it, you know. With me, like, with Pierce Brosnan as Bond, I had only seen 2 of his Bond movies, and the other 2 I hadn't seen. And part of me liked that, because it meant, like, I always could wonder about them, like, ooh, I wonder what those other 2 Pierce Brosnan movies are like, but at the same time I knew once I watched them, I would be sad because, you know, there's no more Brosnan movies, there's only 4 Bond Brosnan movies. It's kind of like that with this game, like, you know, I've had time to wonder about it, I knew there was issues, but now that I've played it and seen it for what it is, you know, it's over. So yeah, like I said, unless things change, a Hero's Tale is basically guaranteed to be what I play next. I kind of want to get to the Legend of Spyro series, but I don't want to skip a beat. I want to see what came after this, because, you know, clearly Activision, I think Activision owned it at that point, right? They said, we want to kind of revamp the series, or maybe it was the game developer, I forget their name, but the guys who made the Legend of Spyro series, I think they made all 3 games. Maybe they said, we want to take Spyro in a different direction, so we'll get to that 5th platformer collectathon, see what it's like, and then if I'm still in the Spyro mood, it's Legend of Spyro after that. So I don't want to keep dragging this on. We've passed the 6-hour mark. I didn't expect this session to go that long, but part of me just wanted to get the game done. So I have work tonight, so I'm probably I don't know how much I'm going to get done today. I might just have to put stuff off for tomorrow, unfortunately, in terms of getting some laundry done and a bit of cleanup. So that's a little unfortunate, but I'll survive. Anyway, we can end this now. This is the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry for the slow moments. I'll try to make sure I cut some stuff out. And, you know, I will see you with A Hero's Tale soon. I actually haven't... It's funny because I haven't edited any of this footage together yet. So, there you go. None of this footage has been edited together yet. Like, even the first recording session, none of that stuff's been put together yet. So, I still have to edit it and then get it out there for you guys to watch. and then I'll be onto Hero's Tale. So maybe I'll start Hero's Tale before I even have stuff edited, because you know, sometimes you're just in the recording mood and not so much the editing mood. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, ciao for now. Bye.